Hi guys, I got another video here for you, and I know I don't usually work with transfers, but this is a transfer project. So if you're a transfer person, you might enjoy this. And if you're not, maybe you'll consider using transfers if you like this project, because it is different. I think it's unique, and I think you guys are gonna like it. Okay, side note, in this video, I'm working on 2 different projects. So I jump back and forth between the 2 of them, so bear with me there. If you like this video, let me know with a like, and write down in the comments which of the 2 projects you prefer. Yeah, and if you aren't subscribed already, maybe consider subscribing. Let's go craft! Okay, so I bought Brocante for the birds. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew I wanted it. And it came to me last night. I was thinking about my window in my studio. I have 2 windows in my studio. One of them I painted all up and I put window treatment on it, and I love it. It's great. The other one, not so much. It's not great. It's not done. It's ugly. It's bad. I'm gonna take a clear sheet and put it right over my birds. I go in with a hot glue gun, and I'm gonna make an outline. I'm gonna go over top all these lines to make a nice deep well. 3 layers high. Okay, if this works out, I will definitely do it again, but I'll do it on a silicone mat versus on a plastic sheet, so I can go in worry-free using my heat gun. Okay, so as you can see, we are free from bubbles, but not from little particles and dust. I covered this as it dried and put it in my studio, and that was my mistake. I put it in my studio. My studio is always dusty, no matter how much dusting and vacuuming I do. I occasionally do some woodworking projects in there, and yeah, there's no escaping the dust and occasional kitty fur. So you guys will probably have way better luck keeping yours debris free. Taking my tape off, you're gonna hover it over, and you need to super commit to your placement, because this is a slick surface and this transfer will adhere to it instantly. Okay, yeah. Let's work at one space at a time, because it's or let's get some scissors out. Tip for you guys, you will have less problems if you also trim up your transfer. I'm just gonna give a few snips just to give it some ability to move around here. So it's getting stuck on all the curves of the hot glue. But I have it's stuck on there, so long as it's not, the loose bits don't shift around too much. It'll be okay here. Carefully and slowly peel away. Feeling a little bit of resistance, so I'm just gonna little resistance again. Very, very nice. Just make sure I didn't leave any. Oh, see, I left his beak behind there, so put that back on there. There you go, little guy. Messed up the tail a little bit. Other than that, it went down beautifully. So here we're left with this. So cute. I just want to pull it out now. But I have another layer of resin to go on top there. I want it to be nice and thick so it isn't rubbery, like bendable. I want it to be nice and stiff, because if it's bendable, it'll crack these guys. Okay, I'm gonna mix up some resin and put it right on top there, same as I did the first layer. I want to put it on nice and thin and put something on top of it, but not directly on it, obviously. I'm gonna stack some molds here and stack some molds there and put a piece of plywood across the top. Try not to drop my phone in here, but I'm expecting all these bubbles to rise to the top surface. But yeah, if you were concerned about it, use Not a heat gun, but maybe like a blow dryer on like some warm air on low. My resin has set and now I'm pulling away the hot glue, which is a little tricky to get started, but once you get a little loose, it pulls off easily. I need a stick. When it's a handsaw, when you can just brute force it. Wow, that's like right perfect. The stick actually kind of curves in like such a pretty way with the birds. I decided I was gonna take this to the belt sander and just flatten the back side a little bit. This knot, I'm keeping in mind, that is part of the front. There we go, guys. See, I just have a few flat points to put some glue. See that? I'm just gonna glue this stick behind it and we'll never know I chipped it out there. Ooh, this is hawthorn, by the way. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so I thought I'd use the bottom of a pot I stole from one of my plants, so it's dirty. Let's get it glued together and then I'll paint it afterwards. I have leftover resin and I have hot glue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the hot glue to kind of like just sit it in place, and I'm gonna follow it up with some resin. So I'm just gonna like strategically just put a few dots here like that of the hot glue. Don't want to overwhelm this base with the hot glue because it's just a, for now, sort of glue to hold it in place. And then I'm just gonna like really be generous with the resin and work quickly before my hot glue sets. Smoosh. Oh, she's gonna look so sweet in the window. Okay, I'm using trimmings 3. I already mowed, and I'll be using this guy right here. It's got lots of texture, and I think it will mimic some bark really well for me. I think the birds out here like my work. What do you guys think? And if you notice with this project, it's matte, it's not high gloss. And that is because I got dust all over it. So I sanded the whole thing down with 220 grit sandpaper. And then I just put a matte top coat on there. And there, voila, a matte finish on your resin. I am going to be taking my Dremel and just going over the edges, going down past the little guidelines that I gave myself. I did this process for project 1 as well. This was so messy. If you can do this outside, yeah, go ahead and do it outside. And don't forget to wear a respirator. I also used a small bit to remove a small black flake that fell in the wet resin. I'll backfill those holes with resin later. I made some small holes at the top corners to put jump rings in. I used a D ring and some pretty cotton lace to get this project hanging in a bright window. Glued and clamped the branch on. Removed excess glue.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah. Voilà.